Hello, everyone. I'm sure if you're watching this at points along your journey, you've thought, why can't I just get back to how I was before anxiety? You might be walking the streets, feeling this constant adrenaline, stress, worry, thoughts, whatever it might be, and you're thinking, gosh, why am I like this? Why can't I just get back to the way I was before? And you look at the world a bit differently around you. Everyone else seems to be going about their day as normal, and then you're stuck in these anxiety loops, physical symptoms, thoughts, as I said. So, is it good to try to want to get back to being your old self? That's what I'm talking about today. But I guess I have a different point of view on it, a different reflection on it. It's tempting to want to think that, and I totally understand why. We'd sell our house in order just to get some relief in the middle of a setback, for example, because the suffering is real. But the problem is with trying to get back to your old self is that with most people I sit down with one to one, they usually realize pretty quickly when we explore or unpack their journey a little bit more is that even before the anxiety came on or before they first had their panic attack or they started to experience severe anxiety, they were probably pretty anxious anyway because of years of stress accumulated, the cumulative effect on the nervous system had put them into an anxiety state. So they had been experiencing stress. They had been maybe living on edge a bit the whole time, high nervous tension in the system, but it hadn't fully manifested in anxiety because we've been sort of managed to keep the lid on that, push it down, repress it, suppress it until finally it gets to a point when we then experience anxiety through panic, whatever it might be, because all that energy can't be repressed anymore. And of course, it's really scary and unpleasant when it happens. So I would argue that we don't want to get back to our old self because the old self was pretty anxious anyway. We just weren't aware of it. It had become the new normal. We didn't know any different. The opportunity when we're suffering anxiety is that it's so unpleasant, so uncomfortable that it at least gives us the motivation to try and live life differently after recovery. Yes, we've got to go through the recovery journey, which can be difficult at times, but also very rewarding. Lots of peace can come with it. But if we recover in the right way, we can actually let our true self to come through. We can let the nervous tension start to dissipate, the nervous system to reset, so we can let our true self come through and we can live a life that's vastly different from who we were before, free of that underlying tension that was always there that pervaded your life, I'm sure. So that's what we're trying to do with this. We're not trying to get back to this sort of the rose-colored glasses view of how we were before, because that was anxiety too. We had just somehow contained it, but in my view, at least, it wasn't a way to live, or at least for the most people that I coach through this work. So the opportunity is if we recover the right way and we start to get to know fear so well that we no longer fear fear itself, we can actually be truly happy because we start to release all that pent up tension and we can start to be truly free. Freer, I would argue, than people who have never suffered from anxiety and recovered because we really understand the stress response. We know general stress, we know fear, we know how to let it all release, let it all come up, let it go. So we sort of leapfrog everyone else and really start to understand this so well that we can truly live a fear-free life. So that's the opportunity that awaits you. It is absolutely possible for you to achieve this, even if you're watching this in a bit of a state and you're not sure how. But I just encourage you, if thoughts or yearnings for the old self come in, why not treat them as anxiety and start to allow your true self to come through as you go through the recovery process? Because I'm living proof that it actually works and you can get on the other side and be a lot happier as a result. I would not want to go back to who I was, even though I was doing my best before anxiety. I have no desire to go back there, and I know I don't need to or I won't because now that I've recovered, I'm much, much happier for it. I hope that helps inspire you a little bit, get your mind off the past, looking towards the future. And if you've got any questions, as always, please let me know. But I hope to see you again very soon. Take care.